for. Could you please share with me about the words abolish and fulfill in Matthew 5:17 as the difference of what the Western world thinks and what truth really is? Very good, too. Glad to do it. Yeshua's statement in Matthew 5:17 is, do not think that I came to abolish the law of the prophets. I did not come to abolish, but to fulfill. So the way Yeshua puts it is he puts abolish is the opposite end of the word fulfill. Okay? So let's put that up there for the moment. Abolish is at opposite ends of fulfill. Fulfill. All right? So Yeshua just used a sentence, and clearly he shows this at one end of the spectrum and that word at the other end of the spectrum. Okay? So we know they mean opposites. So is there any question with anybody what abolish means? That's not where the argument is at. Nobody has a problem understanding the word abolish. It means destroy, get rid of, make of none effect whatsoever. Okay? So we don't have a problem with this one. The whole problem is this one right here. And let me tell you what Christians do with this. They pull this word out of this sentence. They make the word stand by itself. And then they try to give you a different definition that says that fulfill means to complete. And as a result of complete, it's done away with. Which, by the way, this is the definition of that. Done away with is part of the definition of the word abolish. Now, there's no question that in the context of this sentence, Yeshua is meaning something opposite of that. So that can't possibly be the definition of that word. The only way you can make that definition of that word is to extrapolate another definition for the word complete. You have to make this word mean complete, which, by the way, it does mean that. And then you have to take this word and get a variant meaning off of this and extend it, which then pushes it over there. Let me give you the best example I've been able to show, and I did this to a pastor one time. We were at a restaurant, and we were having this discussion. And I had a water glass. And I had drank my glass down about halfway. And I asked the waiter, could I have some more water? And so he came over to the table and he had his water pitcher and I said, fill it up to the top. Fill it full, please. And he did. And as soon as he finished it, I said, okay, take the glass away. I don't want the glass anymore. It's of no value to me anymore. And the waiter looked at me shocked, and the guy that was sitting across the table, he looked at me, what did he say? I said, yeah, I'm using the definition of the word fulfill that you use. You know, it's been filled up full. Now it's of no effect, no good value, so get rid of it. Take it away. Now that you've filled it up. Filled it up full. Completely remove it now. I said, does that make sense to you? I know it doesn't make any sense to the waiter. I'm asking you, does it make sense to you? No, of course not. It doesn't make sense. This word means to fill it up full. Fulfill. I didn't come to make it go away. I came to fill it up full. So it would be even better, even more than what it was originally to begin with. That's what he said. No, by the way, and there's another question in here. When you look at what was the provision of the new covenant that was explained by Jeremiah, Jeremiah is again the one that gave us the prophecy of the new covenant. He said, I'm going to do something differently. I'm going to take those commandments that I wrote on tablets of stone, you know, the 10 commandments, and I'm going to write them on the tablets of your heart. I'm going to make them even more powerful in your life than just being on stone that everybody can have the same reference to, everybody can look at the same way. I'm going to put them on everybody's heart so everybody in their heart knows these are the commandments. And by the way, Yeshua, when he came teaching and preaching and so forth, do you know what he was constantly teaching? He was teaching about how you obey the commandments of the Lord from your heart. He was teaching about how when you sin first from your heart. It's your heart that defiles you, not your mouth, not what you eat. It's your heart that defiles you. And that obeying and loving God begins from the heart. Well, what is the whole new covenant? To take his commandments and put them on your heart. Now, is this a completely strange thing Moses never talked about? No, of course not. Moses talked about those things. He alluded to them, but the commandments were on tablets of stone. But in the new covenant, he said, I will make that covenant with you, not like I made with your fathers in that day. I'll make it this way with you. Very personal for us. God, when he came down at Mount Sinai, spoke to all of the people, to the whole community of Israel, all the descendants of Abraham. Now when the Messiah comes and he does, the work of salvation is personally with every one of us. He offers salvation to the world, but it really takes effect when each one of us personally deal with it. So he speaks right to our heart, personally right to our heart. And those of us who understand this great salvation that the Messiah has given to us, we all know this one very interesting fact. The Messiah comes down and does the work of redemption, but there's only one person in the entire world that will ever accept the Messiah, and it turns out it's you. You are the only person who will ever accept this redemption that he did. Do you think he would have still done it? If he knew only you was the only person that was going to receive this redemption, do you think he still would have done it? I know in my case he would have done it, because I see that salvation as personally directed at me. I'm not included in a big group of people. It's a very personal relationship I have with God. And that's what he came doing. That's what makes the new covenant distinctive and stand out, the covenant he made. He offered himself personally for every one of us for it. So while we assert that, and we believe that, and I think other Christians believe that equally with myself, the issue over not to abolish but to fulfill, the only way that you can mess up the definition of this word is if you pull it out of the sentence, out of context, you go through this completion definition, and then you come up with a variant definition of the word complete. The reason why it's called complete is because it's filled. If a cup is filled to the brim, you can say the task of filling the cup has been completed. It is complete. That's what it means. That's what the word complete means with the word fulfill, because it's filled all the way to the top. But then to go and say, well, it's been completed and it's been done away with, we're saying, no, it's not like a cup. It's like you had a task to complete and now the task has gone away. We're not talking about a task here. We're talking about something that is not a task. We're talking about something that is real and is something that we all have for it. So was redemption completed? Yes, redemption was completed. The work of redemption was completed. But in particular, when it came, he's talking about the law here. He's talking about the law and the prophets. Is that ever going to be completed? No. The scripture says the law and the prophets are perfect and are forever. They're forever settled in heaven. They are eternal. Can you make an argument that eternity comes to a point and then is completed and there's no more eternity? Eternity goes away. Well, we've already covered that definition on eternity. Eternity means forever and ever. There is no end. There is no completion to eternity. There is no completion to those things. And that would be a misapplication of the definition and the connotations of the word for it. So that's my best shot at you there, Herb, on trying to explain the difference in the words. Yahweh.